guys, it's Sarah, and today I want to talk about some authors. Now, I have gone through a little bit of a reorganization recently. I did a little bit of purging on my books. I did unhaul quite a few, and anything that I unhauled is up on Penguin Books right now. So if you guys are interested in seeing what I unhauled, or if you're interested in buying any of them, I have them for sale up on Penguin. I will leave my link down below along with my shop name in case you can't use the link. But Penguin Books is an app, and it's where you can buy and sell used books, basically. This is not sponsored. I just started using it, and I've had a lot of luck with it so far. So I'm going to keep on using it because I've actually sold quite a few things, and I have bought a couple things as well. It's fine. But I have been going through and organizing and reorganizing and really making sure I'm grouping all my authors together, which has been interesting. So there's a few exceptions as far as, you know, I kind of try to keep my books mainly by genre if I can, and I keep all my authors together if I can as well. Sometimes it breaks it up, like if it's a book of the month book, I keep all those together separately, and gift books and book exchange books, I keep all those separate. So if I have an author, you know, where I have other books on my shelves as well that I personally bought, then they don't go together. So it's been a whole thing. But I noticed when I was reorganizing, oh man, I have a lot of authors that I have a lot of their books, or I have multiples of their books, and I just haven't read them. And I'm like, why though? So I'm going to do a couple of videos about this. Today, I'm going to talk about authors that I have read from before, but I have multiple books from theirs that I still need to read. Some of them I'm not quite sure about as authors still. So I need to read so that I know if I like these authors or not. It's just kind of one of those things. And some of them I do know that I really like, and I want to read everything that they write. I just need to read some more. So yeah, I thought it'd be fun to kind of go through some of these with you. And this is by no means a cohesive list. It's not everything. It's just ones that really stood out to me. Okay, the first one, this poor author is all over my house because I have these from different areas in my house, but that's SHARI LAPENA. I have read The Couple Next Door by her, and I liked it. I think it ended up being was it a 3 or a 4? It might have been a 4. I liked it. I wasn't over the moon about it. It did surprise me. I liked the book. So I knew I wanted to read more from her. Now, this is one that I think I got at maybe a Goodwill or something. I got it very cheap. So this is one that I purchased myself. This is A Stranger in the House. I also have An Unwanted Guest. This is one that Lindsay sent me for our Christmas book exchange. So this is sitting on my book exchange cart. And then I have Not a Happy Family that I got from Book of the Month as an add-on one month. So I have her books. I have 3 of them, and I need to read more because I think this can be an author that I'm either going to really like her or I'm just not going to like her. And I don't know yet. And I need to read more. I hear very, very mixed things about her books. So I need to read so I can make up my own mind about her as an author. But yeah, so I have 3 from her. Okay, this next one is interesting. Let's talk about Ruth Ware. Okay. I have 3 books from her too. And Ruth is interesting because I read The Lying Game, which I thought was just fine. I gave it 3 stars. I DNF'd The Woman in Cabin 10 because I felt like I had already read that book. I felt like that was Girl on a Train, but it was on a boat. And I was really bored with that book. So I didn't finish it. But I keep picking up her books. Why do I keep picking up her books? So I don't know if she's just not going to be an author for me or if she's going to be a book-by-book basis for me. I'm not sure what that's going to be. So I have The Death of Mrs. Westaway, which I picked up when we were in Asheville. I have The Turn of the Key, which I got from a friend who was unhauling some Book of the Month books, so I grabbed it. And then I purchased one by one from Book of the Month as an add-on when it was available there. So I have 3 of her books. I need to read. I need to see what I think about her as an author. I don't know which one I'd want to grab first, to be honest with you. So I guess we'll see. But do you guys like Ruth Ware? She's very hit or miss for people. I know that. If you do like her, which one should I start with? Which one should I read next? I don't know. All these authors I have 3 books from. Next is Lisa Jewell. I have read a couple of Lisa Jewell books, and I think they were both 4 stars. I really liked them. So I do think that she's an author I would want to, continuously read. So I have Then She Was Gone, that I picked up secondhand. I have The Girls in the Garden, which I also picked up secondhand. And then I have Watching You, which was a gift from somebody. So this one is definitely one, like, of the 3, I think I would pick up this one first. But yeah, so she's definitely a kind of thrillery author that I know that I like, and I just want to read more. Okay, next is Mary Kubica. I have 3 of hers as well. And actually I have 4. I have one on my Kindle. So there's that. I do have one on my Kindle. I forgot about that. So I have 4 of hers technically. And I did read The Good Girl. When did I read that? Last year, and I really liked it a lot. So I know that I want to read more from her for sure. Physically, I have Pretty Baby, which, where did I get this? I want to say I picked it up at, like, probably a Goodwill. Every Last Lie, I know that I got at Goodwill. And The Other Misses, I got at a different thrift store. And then on my Kindle, I have Don't You Cry. I have that one. So, and I think I got that as like a Kindle deal or something like that. But yeah, so definitely 100% I know I want to read more from her, and I have 4 options to choose from. Okay, so these other 3 authors are more fantasy books. So let's talk about Emily Lloyd-Jones. I read The Hearts We Sold by her when we were living in Florida, and I was blown away by how much I loved that book. I absolutely loved it. It was a big surprise. I didn't know much about it. I think that was one that I got in a subscription box, I believe. Yeah, I think I did. And I had finally read it, and it was really, really, really good. So I really liked that one a lot. And I have these 2 on my shelves. I pre-ordered this one, you guys. The Bone Houses. I pre-ordered this. Still sitting here unread. And then I do have Elusive as well, which I think is more of like a superhero, maybe more sci-fi-ish type of book. This one's definitely fantasy and involves like graveyards and stuff. But I definitely want to read more from her. She also has another book coming out later this year that I really want to read as well. Like, that's going to be going on my most anticipated books. But yeah, I want to read more from her. All right, let's talk about V.E. Schwab. Okay, V.E. Schwab. I love her writing. I really do. I like that all of her books are also different, is what I like. She doesn't follow a formula with her books. She has some series, definitely, so those will obviously be the same, but I just like that she writes differently, and she tries different things, and she takes characters in different directions. I really like it. So one of my favorite books of all time is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Love, love, love that book with my whole heart. And I also loved Vicious and Vengeful. Vicious was a huge surprise for me when I read it. I read Vicious and Vengeful both on my Kindle, and I have put the hardcovers on my wish list because I really want them on my shelves permanently for sure. And I would definitely want the hardcovers, but I loved Vicious so much. I really did enjoy Vengeful as well. Not quite as much. It was like 1 star lower, but there is going to be a 3rd one coming out as well. So I will definitely be picking that one up to read too, but loved them so much. So I definitely want to read more from her. So on my shelves, I have A Darker Shade of Magic. This is the first book in her series. I think there's 3 of them in this book. And this involves like different versions of London that have different magic systems. And we have a main character who can hop in between all the 4 different versions of London. Sounds so cool. I've heard really good things about this series. So I definitely want to read that. And then I have the Monsters of Verity duology. So it's This Savage Song and Our Dark Duet. I have both of these to read, and there's just 2. So this would be pretty easy, but I've heard really good things about this, and it involves heavily on music, and there's demons and all sorts of stuff with that. And then her most recent release I picked up for sure, and that is Gallant. So, oh man, I've heard mixed things about this one, but I'm still really excited to read it. So I know it has something to do with this mansion. That's all I really know. I'm trying to stay away from spoilers. I'm trying to stay away from too much, but there's a lot of artwork in here that really heavily lends to the stories. And then there's some pages that are written like this, just like it's supposed to be very unique and different. And I'm excited to get into this one and see what it's all about. But she's definitely an author that I want to read, like everything that she writes. And the last one I want to talk about today is TJ Cloon. He wrote The House in the Cerulean Sea, which is another one of my favorite books of all time. I absolutely adore that book. And this one is the one that was released after that, which is Under the Whispering Door. I pre-ordered this one as well. Definitely want to read it for sure. And then I also have Wolf Song, which is the first book in a series of his, and this follows like werewolves, and this is self-published. So, but yeah, I've heard such good things about this book. Like anybody who picks it up absolutely loves it. And I'm excited to get into it as well and see what it's all about. But it is a series. So if I like the first one, obviously I would grab the rest of them as well. But this one and this one, and he has more. He is actually pretty prolific as far as what he has had published or published himself. So I definitely wanted to go back and read some of his other stuff. I'm going to stick more with the fantasy versus contemporary because he does have some contemporary books as well. All of his books are queer as well. So, but I know he has some contemporary romances, which I probably am least interested in picking up, but I definitely want to read all of his fantasy books for sure. And he has a sci-fi series as well called The Extraordinaries, and I definitely want to pick that up too. So that's one that I'm kind of on the lookout for. I have it saved on Pango right now. Someone has a paperback for sale, and I'm going to kind of keep an eye on it. But that one I think is, I want to say it's 3 books. And I think the third one is either coming out very soon or it's already out. Like there's been buzz about it recently. So one of those things, but we'll see. But he's definitely an author I want to read more from for sure. Okay, guys, those are 6 authors that really stood out to me as I was kind of reorganizing that I have a lot of their books. And there's more that they have published that I haven't purchased, but I still want to read them. So yeah, I got to get on this. I got to get on it for sure. I just want to see if some of these authors are for me. So a couple of them are definitely ones that I need to just give another shot and see what I think. And it could be something where if I don't love what I pick up next, maybe they're not the author for me. So we'll see about that. But let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think of these authors? I want feedback on these authors specifically for sure. Give me some feedback. Let me know things. And what authors do you have that you tend to collect their books, but just take a long time reading them? Like whether it's a new to you author and now you want to read their backlist because you really like what they just published, stuff like that. Let me know. And I will see you guys again soon. Hope you have a great day. Bye.